This video isn't for everyone. In fact, if you've made it here, chances are you've already realized it's hard to find real answers about women, attraction, power, and control. And here's the truth. No one says out loud. There are things women don't want you to know. Not because they're bad, not because they're hiding something sinister, but because if you understood this one truth, they'd lose control. And that scares them. This isn't about tricks, and it's not about pretending to be alpha. It's about unlocking the one trait that makes a woman feel powerless in the presence of a man, yet completely drawn to him. Today, I'm going to break this truth down, piece by piece. And by the end, you won't see women or yourself the same way again. Part 1. Why is she drawn to some men without knowing why? Ever seen a woman chase a guy who barely speaks? A guy who's not rich, not even the best looking, but she craves him anyway? That's not chemistry. That's not her type. That's something deeper, something unconscious. That man has mastered one thing she can't fake and can't resist: presence. And no, this isn't about meditation or being zen. I'm talking about the kind of stillness that makes her adjust her posture, fix her hair, shift her energy, because your silence carries more weight than her words. Presence kills the average man and gives birth to the one she secretly hopes exists. And the moment you stop chasing, that's when she starts yearning. Part 2. Why does talking less make you more powerful? When's the last time you sat in silence and watched her fill it? Most men can't do it. They rush to impress, to joke, to prove something. But the man who can sit comfortably in silence, he shifts the power dynamic without even trying. Here's the secret. When you talk less, she does more. She starts wondering what you're thinking. She starts trying harder to keep your attention. She senses your control. And that quiet confidence, it disrupts everything she's used to. Suddenly, she's not the one being observed. You are. And when she can't read you, when she can't predict you, that confusion, that imbalance, that's the seed of obsession. If you want her addicted to your energy, don't give it away. Make her earn it. Part 3. Why is your attention her true drug? No dating coach will tell you this. She doesn't need you to love her first. She needs you to notice her differently. Your attention, when filtered through Stoic energy, is a reward, not a reaction. That's why the man who looks at her like he's seen her type before, without need, without chase, is magnetic. He's not reaching, he's choosing. Think about how a cat behaves when you ignore it. Now imagine a confident, high-value woman used to being chased, facing a man who doesn't respond to her tests. She spirals. And in that spiral, she starts craving the very attention you withhold. This is the moment where most men ask, should I just ignore her? But the real question is, can you become the kind of man who doesn't need to? Part 4. Why Stoic energy isn't cold, it's dangerous. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless, it's about being unshakable. That's what makes it dangerous. Women don't want a man who feels nothing. They want a man who feels deeply, but is never ruled by emotion. Picture a man who can face chaos, heartbreak, betrayal, and instead of reacting simply says, "Noted." That man becomes a mirror. She can't manipulate him, she can't pull him out of his power. And that's when respect replaces control. Because Stoicism isn't about detachment, it's about direction. You channel energy inward. You move with precision, and she feels it, she follows it. Part 5, the one move she can't counter. Here's the truth behind every test, every pull away, every push. It's not random. It's not cruel. It's a pattern, and most men fall into it. But there's one move she can't counter: indifference born from peace. Not arrogance, not pretending, real indifference. The kind that comes from a man who genuinely understands. Whether she stays or goes, I remain whole. When she senses that you are complete without her, when your self-worth isn't tied to her affection, something shifts. She realizes You're not just a man anymore. You've become the standard she has to rise to. That's what Stoicism is. You don't chase attention, you attract respect. And the men who live this, they don't announce it. They walk quietly, and the world watches. Part 6. What happens when you pull back? Ever notice what happens the moment you stop texting first? She starts lurking, liking your old photos, sending the "Hey stranger" message. That's not coincidence, it's cause and effect, because most men cling tighter when they feel her slipping. But not you. You feel the fear, but you don't react. You feel the silence, but you don't break it. You feel the urge, but sit with it like a soldier in the rain. And in that silence, something changes. She realizes she lost emotional control, and now she's chasing clarity. She's wondering who you are because you became unreadable. And curiosity, that's the crack where desire gets in. She doesn't need your explanation. She needs to wonder what's behind your silence. Part 7. The one trait that silently dominates any room. People talk about confidence, charisma, kindness, but there's one trait that quietly turns heads, shifts dynamics, and rewires her attraction. Command. Not force, not volume, not ego, command. The kind of energy that enters a room and doesn't need to prove anything. You walk with intent. You speak with weight. You listen more than you talk, and people move around you without knowing why. This energy doesn't ask, it expects. And the moment you live in this energy, you're no longer the guy she can play, with, test, or tame. You become the man she respects too much to lose and is too intrigued to leave. Command isn't shown, it's felt. And it's born the moment you stop needing her and start mastering you. If you've made it this far, you already know. You're not like most men. You don't perform. You don't beg. You don't chase noise. You become the stillness inside. And if this resonated, don't just watch. Live it. Drop the word unreadable in the comments so I know you're ready to stop being understood and start being remembered. And if you want more, subscribe, because the next video I drop, she'll wish you never found it. Stay still, stay stoic until next time.